Oh yeah, new thing. You have to click to say you accept the recording and it speaks to you. All right. So come and sit up on a cushion or two in a comfortable seat. This is a little mudra practice, and mudras are hand positions that focus our energy and our attention in the body, and just tune us in to different things, different aspects. So we're going to start with one you probably recognize, which is chin mudra. So it's your thumb and your index finger just lightly touching, and then just rest that down on the legs, palms facing up. So once you feel kind of settled and balanced through the body, find chin mudra. See if you can soften the shoulders and grow a little through the crown of the head so that your neck feels nice and long, your back feels as if you're stacking your vertebrae one on top of the other. If you're comfortable too, you can close the eyes. I will be taking you through a few different mudras, so you may need to peek for a couple of rounds until you get the hang of it. So this is chin mudra, and this mudra is supposed to represent the joining of the self with the universal, so an individual with something greater or outside of ourselves. And we're going to just sit, lightly pressing the thumb and index finger together. Notice the breath and silently repeating to yourself, I am present. And noticing your breath and silently saying, I am present. Just another round. We're going to move our hands. We're going to bring our hands together so thumbs touch and all of the fingertips touch, but there's a space in between the palms. And we're just going to bring that in front of our diaphragm, so the upper belly. And press the fingertips together quite strongly. This is called Hakini Mudra. Connects us with our core strength and our kind of the seat of our fire, which is our Manipura chakra, the chakra in the center of our core. So pressing the fingertips together, keeping those shoulders relaxed. Closing the eyes once again. I am strong. Just noticing the breath. I am strong. And then allowing the palms to come together in front of the heart space in Anjali Mudra. So pressing the palms, lifting the chest or the heart towards the thumbs a little bit. Close the eyes. I am kind. I am kind. And then lifting the hands up, and we'll open them into our lotus mudra. So the base of the hand still stays together, the thumb and the little finger, and all the other fingers spread out like a lotus flower. And that comes in front of the throat. And close the eyes. I am open. I am open. And then taking our hands all the way up, we're going to open them out like a V shape. And we're funneling the energy of the universe in towards us. You can lift the gaze or you can close the eyes. I am supported. I am supported. Okay, bringing the hands back down to Chin Mudra. We'll just do a couple of rounds. I'll just give you the phrase once and you just repeat it as many times as you like. So thumb and index finger touch. I am present. Moving to Hakini Mudra with all the fingertips touching just in front of the upper abdomen. Pressing them in together. I am strong. Palms touching in front of the heart, Anjali Mudra. I am kind. Opening into our Padma Mudra, our Lotus Mudra at the throat. I am open. Then reaching the arms up, take them out wide into that V shape. I am supported. Good, and then lower the hands back to the legs. So I'm going to place them palms down and just sit for a moment and just see if any of those really resonated or really felt needed for you to hear, for you to tell yourself. Maybe it's something you could bring into a small, short daily ritual for yourself. Okay, so we're going to open the eyes. You can swap the cross of the legs. Bring the hands forwards onto the knees, and we're just going to start with a few little pelvic tilts. So take your time, rocking across the sitting bones, and just see how the lower back feels, see how the hips feel. You don't have to go in really, really deep to start with. You can take a real gentle approach to seeing how the body is. Just rocking forwards, rocking back. And see if you can, as you do this, soften the pelvic floor. It's almost like you're giving the base of your pelvis a little bit of a massage, just letting it be lovely and relaxed. And as we rock forwards, the pelvic floor is going to be widening. And as we rock backwards, it's going to be shortening a bit. But just keep it relaxed. We're not trying to activate or lift or anything. We're just feeling like we're soothing, calming, releasing. And maybe you could even bring one of those phrases back in. If you need to feel like you need to feel supported in this area, you could feel I am supported. Or if you feel like you want to be a bit more open in this area, I am open. Or nothing. It's your choice. And you could let that movement maybe become a little bit bigger and bring it into the chest a little bit more as well. See how that feels. Good. Bring that slowly back into the center to sit tall on both sitting bones. We're going to circle the arms on the next inhale, reach them overhead. Interlace the hands and turn the palms away and just have a moment really reaching up lovely and long and tall. Nice deep breaths. And then I quite like to have a little wriggle. So just taking your rib cage almost from one side to the other and see how that feels in the body. This area around the ribs can get a little bit tight and sticky when we're pregnant. We haven't got much room in the body. Okay, come back into the center, release the hands, and we're going to circle the hands at the wrists. Slowly take them out wide. Taking the hands all the way down to land them on the mat just behind your hips. So thumbs forward, fingertips back. Lift the chest, open the gaze. You could maybe bring back the heart center affirmation, I am kind, or even I am supported by the floor. And then bringing your weight back over the top of the sitting bones. Let's reach up again on the next breath. Interlace the hands the other way around, stretch the hands up, lengthen the sides of the body, lovely. And again, a little bit of movement if it feels good for you. And there really is no right and wrong about how you move. Just listen to your body. And we're going to release the hands. Make circles the other way with your hands as you bring the arms out and down. That's it. Just really exploring through those wrists, the movement that's available to you. Bringing them all the way down to the floor. Thumbs point towards the front. Again, lean back a little bit, lift the chest. Just drawing the shoulder blades together to open the front of the chest. And then coming all the way back up. Okay, let's take the arms up one more time. So circle them overhead. Keep the hands separate this time. We're going to bend the right elbow, left hand on top of the right elbow. Gently draw it back and towards the center until you feel a stretch, probably in this tricep, maybe in the shoulder. See if you can keep your head in the middle. And then if it feels okay, a little side bend over to the left as well. Breathing deeply into the stretch. And then rising up, stretching the arms out wide, maybe just bringing in the I am supported in the middle. And then exhaling all the way over to the other side. Breathing in. And then rising up, reaching the arms. And then exhale them all the way down through center. Okay, let's come over to all fours. Bring yourselves around. Move any props out of the way. Feet, knees a little bit wider than hip distance, and if you've got a big bump, you could go a bit wider, just see how you feel. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Take a nice deep breath, have soft elbows. As you exhale, draw the belly in and up, curl through the spine, push the ground away. Inhaling back through center, supporting the bump, lifting it to spine and lifting the chest. And then exhale to round, pushing the ground away. Inhale through center. Just thinking about keeping bump lifting towards you and rounding on your exhale. So close your eyes, do a couple more rounds. And rather than thinking about the movement too much, come back to one of those affirmations that felt really important or needed, necessary for you right now. Something you know you need to hear. Maybe just repeat that a few times as you move. If you want to, you can add a little bit of movement from your cat. Shift your hips back towards your heels a little bit. And then come up as you inhale and lift your chest. So we're exhaling to round, work the hips back towards the heels. Inhaling, staying in that cat as you come forwards. Lift the chest. Rounding, sliding back. Rising up. Inhale. Okay, and the next one, finding ourselves in child's pose. You can take the knees wider, settle the hips back to the heels, stretch the arms out in front of you. If you've got a bolster or a couple of cushions, you can bring them in under the chest. Give yourself a little bit of support if you need it, and if you have it available to you, use it. And see if you can really allow the sitting bones to relax towards the earth, towards the heels. You may even want to have a little wriggle from side to side, sort of settle your weight back into your hips, into your seat. And a really nice one here might be I am present. So just keep you in this moment, stillness in the mind and stillness in the body. And slowly coming up, bring those hands in, support yourself as you rise up, move your thumbs and back onto all fours. And we just take a thread the needle pose. So knees nice and wide. We're going to press into the left hand, take the right arm up and open, and really think about opening the chest and that feeling of being open. I am open. Opening the heart. And then as you exhale, coming through, sliding the arm, keep it a little bit, if your boobies are getting big, reach a little bit further towards your wrist so you've got a bit more space in the body to reach through and bring the head down to the mat. And just find a rotation through the spine. You can rest, or you could even reach the left arm up and open as well if you felt okay in this position. Really breathe into the chest. Lowering that hand, you're going to press that left hand into the earth to open up again. Nice big breath that you're opening your wings. Lovely. And then exhale the hand back down. I'm going to sweep the opposite hand up and open. I am open. And then sliding that hand through. Keep it up high, close to the wrist. Give yourself some space for the chest. Lay the shoulder down, lay the head down. Find a comfortable place for you. And breathe. And again, you can press the right hand in, or you could even reach that arm up and open if it felt good. See how your shoulders feel. See how your head and neck feel. And then when you're ready, lower that hand down, push into the earth to rise up. Big breath. And then exhale down. Okay, we're going to bring ourselves up to kneeling. So if you're on quite a hard floor and you want to double over your mat, you could just take a loop and double it over so that when you kneel, you've got really nice squishy ground. Everybody's knees are different, so it's just an option if it feels good to you. Knees are about hip distance, maybe a little bit wider. Just see how you feel here. We're going to bring our left hand to our heart. With our right hand, we're just going to circle all the way up and back and around behind us. So we're keeping the chest relatively forwards, but we're just circling the shoulder. Circling the arm at the shoulder. And see if you can make that movement really smooth. So sometimes when we get a sticky bit, we like to rush through it. See if you can keep it really smooth. Okay, and then swapping hands, so right hand to heart space and circling left hand. All the way up, back and down. And again, just noticing right to left, any differences. Can you keep that movement lovely and smooth and controlled? Good, and then we'll just alternate hands for a few rounds. So left hand to heart, circle the right. Right hand takes the place of the left hand, circle the left. And we're just swapping side to side a few times. And our heart mudra affirmation was I am kind. So you could bring that one back in, or any other one that feels relevant for you, feels helpful to you. Just finish with one to the left. And then we're going to take both hands down, circle them up. Take them wide, take them back, interlace them behind you. And then think about your tailbone dropping down to the floor. Roll the shoulders open. Keep the elbows a little bit bent, just a little bit soft rather than locking the arms. And just take a couple of breaths here to lift the chest. Breathe into the front of the chest, into the heart, into the front of the shoulders. And then let that go. Relax the arms down, release the hands. Give them a little wriggle. We're going to come from here to a lunge. So bringing one foot, let's take the left foot forwards into a lunge. So we're not into a particularly deep lunge, but we've just got one foot forwards, one foot back. And then just a gentle rock with our hands on our hips. So just a little bit in and a little bit back. Just see how it feels. You could bring the hands to the front thigh if that felt more supported. So on your hips or on your front leg. Okay. And then coming back, so most of your weight's over your back leg. We're going to reach the arms forwards in front of us, and we're going to take Apana Mudra. This is a new one. So we're going to take the the ring finger and the little finger together, and then the other two fingers, the peace fingers, you're going to glue them together and bring your thumb to the little finger and ring finger. So we're like this. This Apana Mudra is about the downward flow of energy. So it's really relevant in pregnancy, especially getting towards birth. We're going to bring both those hands out in front of us. And then you're going to peel back the right arm as you twist a little bit to the right. Look back over the right shoulder. And then open up and around back to the front. So you peel it back. Rotate the chest. Reach it up and over. Peel it back. Reach it up. So we're really finding that lovely spaciousness across the chest and the shoulders. Good, lovely. Bring it all the way back up and over. Bring the hands back to the heart space and then bring the hands down on the inside of the front foot. So you may have to just widen your stride a little to get yourself there. And come forward into a deeper lunge for a moment. And stretching into that back thigh, back hip. And then press the bottom back a little bit. Step that left leg back. Come back up to kneel. Stand tall on your knees. Okay, coming on to the other side. So we're going to bring the right leg forwards into a lunge. Hands on your hips or hands on the thigh. And just start a little gentle rock forwards and backwards. If you need to take that front foot wider to feel balanced and supported, it could go a little bit out wider to the side. Okay, coming back to the weight over the back knee. Reaching the hands forwards, Apana Mudra, so the ring and little finger touch to the thumb and the other two fingers point forwards. And we're going to open the other way. So reach the left arm back, turn the gaze, and then up and over to the front. Inhale it back. Exhale it over. Inhale it back. Exhale it over. A really lovely deep breaths, making some space across the chest, getting into those shoulders. Okay, one more time. This time bringing the hands all the way down on the inside of that front leg. Maybe fingertips, maybe flats of hands, and come into a slightly deeper lunge here. And when you're ready, stepping that front foot back to all fours. And you might want to come off the mat. So if you've double rolled it, and just stretch it out in front of you. You've got your mat flat again. Okay. I'm going to tuck the toes and come up into a downward dog just for a couple of breaths. And lifting your pelvis. Keep the knees nice and bent. If downward dog doesn't feel right for you at the moment, you can come into puppy pose with the knees on the mat. Stretch the arms forwards, bring the head towards the mat. If you're in downward dog, you can walk the legs from side to side, bending one knee, straightening the other, working through the feet. Nice deep breaths. Okay, when you're ready, you're going to walk the hands back in towards you. I'm going to come into a forward fold, either hanging, so it feels good for you to let the head hang and just have a bit of upper body lengthening. You can hang, or you can prop yourself up by bringing your elbows just above your knees. So if you feel a little bit dizzy or a little bit unsure of letting the weight of the head hang down, come into this one for a couple of breaths. And then we're going to rise up nice and slowly. You're thinking about pushing through the feet, drawing the belly in and up, walking the hands up the legs if it helps you. Come all the way up to stand tall, the back of your back. Roll the shoulders up, back and down. See how that feels. Up, back and down. Okay. Can everybody get to a wall or a shut door? All right. Something you can kind of lean against. Yeah. Everybody's got something, have they? Okay, cool. All right. So what we're going to do is just do a little bit of a sequence at the wall. I'm going to move my camera a little bit closer so you can see where I'm going. These are really nice sequences to feel really supported, and they're also great to do in labour, so they're really quite nice things to have around walls. So we're going to start facing the wall and come into a kind of wall downward dog. So hands a little bit wider than your shoulders, walk your feet away, and then you can walk the hands down until you feel comfortable, feet nice and wide, a little bend in the knees, and then you should feel a really nice lengthening down the back of the legs and also into the back. If you can, have a sense of drawing baby into the spine and the front ribs into the spine too, just to support the back. And a couple of breaths there. And feel the support of the ground beneath your feet. Feel the support of the wall or the door, whatever solid surface you're pressing against. Good. And then slowly pushing into the wall to come up. You can walk your hands up the wall. We're going to bring one foot forward, so we're in a lunge. Push the hands into the wall in front of you and push the back heel back away from you as you lift your chest. So again, really nice sense of support from the wall, from the floor beneath you. Really breathe into that stretch and breathe into those supports. And you could say to yourself, I am supported. I'm going to swap sides, so carefully bringing the right foot back and the left foot forwards. And stretching into the back of the right leg, pushing through the hands, lifting the chest a little bit. Nice deep breaths. Good, and then coming all the way back up, coming a little bit closer to the wall and turning to face one side, so whichever side's easier for you to see what I'm doing, doesn't really matter, we'll do both sides. So your hand is going to reach to the wall at shoulder height with just a tiny bend in the elbow. So we're not locking the joint, we're just keeping a little bit of a bend. Then turn the fingers so they point back away from you and the base of the hand is forward. Now that might already be a stretch. You might already feel that in your arm, in your shoulder. But if you don't, you can gently turn your whole body away from your arm. So you're just gently angling and moving your feet, angling the whole body so it stays in a straight line, but just gently away from the arm until you feel something. And it might feel like a stretch. It might feel a bit more like a nervy sensation. So don't push too hard, but wherever you get to, breathe. So I feel this into my hand. It's definitely the nerve that runs down the arm. Feels it a little bit twingy in this one. I wouldn't push too much into that, just a little bit and breathe. Sorry if you can hear my husband laughing. He's got his mate round, they're sitting outside. Just breathe, gently stretching into the arm, into the hand. And you can always move the hand up a little bit or down a little bit. So if you don't really feel anything, you can kind of play around with the position of the hand. And then we're going to walk our bodies back towards the hand and then all the way around to the other side. So just start with the fingertips upright and get your position. Then you turn the fingertips behind you and gradually shifting the body around to face away from the arm. We want to keep the hips and the feet and the shoulders as much as possible facing the same direction. And then breathe. And again, you can play around a little bit with the height of the hand. And then we'll release that, gently walking back to face the wall. So we're going to do a little dancer's pose at the wall. So if you bring your left hand up just a little bit higher than your shoulder, place it on the wall, and then shift your weight into your left leg. We're going to bend the right knee, reach back and take a hold of the top of the right foot, if that feels okay in your pelvis. So if this is too much, Beth, on just being on one leg, then bring the feet down. You could come back into another dog stretch, come back into this, or maybe even ladder pose. So you could lean against the wall and just sway your hips from side to side, might be nice. If you're all right bouncing on one leg, just see how that feels. See if you can line the knees up. I'll come over here because actually I'm closer. So rather than having the knee forward, see if you can bring that knee back so it's in line, and then draw baby to spine and think about scooping the tailbone under just a bit more. And then your other hand's on the wall. I know you can't see my head. Other hand's on the wall. And then if you wanted to, you could kick that foot back a little bit into the hand as you reach the hand that's on the wall a bit higher. And this can feel really, really nice, like really opening of the front body. But obviously listen to your body and go back a stage if it doesn't feel good. And then gently releasing that, coming back, taking a moment on both feet. And then when you're ready, right hand up the wall, weight into the right leg, and finding the foot on the other side. Again, try and line up your knees, draw your tailbone under, and just stay here if that feels good. Or you could come a little bit deeper in, kicking back into the hand and reaching the wall hand a little bit higher. Nice deep breaths. And then gently release. Walking a little bit closer, we'll all come into ladder pose. So you're going to cross your forearms and rest the forearms against the wall and bring your head onto your forearms. So you need to be quite close. And then step your feet a little bit wider apart. Have a little bend in the knees. And you can either just sway the hips or you can circle the pelvis. So circling might feel really nice for that low back. And as you do this, just saying to yourself, I am supported, and really lean into the support of the wall. Let your head rest. I am supported. I'm going to take that the other way if you're circling in one direction. I am supported. Okay, bring it back to the center. And gently lift your head away from the wall. And then we're going to turn around and come so that we're right back against the wall. We want to bring our back of our body, back of our shoulders, back of our head against the wall. Okay, come a little bit wider with your feet. So just a bit wider than hip distance. But we still want to feel the back of the wall as much as possible. Depends on how our body is. You might feel the calf muscles and the heels. You might just feel the thighs. It doesn't really matter. As long as you can feel the wall behind you. We're going to turn the right toes out to the right. I'll do this way because I think that's right on your screen. Right toes out to the right for warrior two, and let the left toes just come in as much as they need to. Hands on your hips and then bend your right knee. But as you come into warrior two, can you stay supported by the wall? So a sense of the shoulders still against the wall. Maybe the bottom, you might not feel the thigh, depends on the shape of your body, but as many bits of you as possible in contact with the wall. And then if it feels okay, you can take the arms out at shoulder height and feel the wall behind the hands. Look to your right. And just thinking or taking yourself through the affirmation, I am strong. I am strong. Feeling the energy reaching out through both hands and realizing that you can be strong and supported at the same time. And actually, we need to be supported to be strong. Okay, so we're gently straightening that right leg, and we'll take our time to shift back through the middle and to spin the feet round the other way. So just take your time to feel nice and balanced on this side. Maybe hands on the hips to start with as you come in. Adjust so that you can feel a bit more of your body against the wall. Think about drawing your lumbar spine, your lower back to the wall as much as you can. You won't feel it, but what I don't want is a kind of arch in the back with the baby hanging forwards. Instead, you want to think about scooping the tail and drawing the baby in. When you've got that and you feel comfortable, reach the arms long, look to the left. I am strong. I am strong. I am strong. And then when you're ready, straightening that left leg, walking the feet in and just gently toe heel them in or step them in. So a little bit wider than your hips. And we're going to press as much of the back into the wall as we can, so including that lower back, and then walk the feet a little bit further forwards and a little bit wider. You don't have to go super deep. Press your back into the floor behind you and just come down into a bit of a supported squat. You might find this feels really nice. If you push into your feet and you push the lower back into the wall, that can feel like, oh, that's good for my lumbar spine. It's not like arching, it's nice and supported. And just take a couple of breaths. I am strong. I am supported. Just feeling the wall, feeling the floor, feeling the strength in your legs, breathing the whole time. And if you wanted to, you could adjust yourself so your bottom's pressing into the wall and you could reach the arms away in a supported chair pose. So keep baby drawing to spine, reach the arms forwards, but the bum is kind of pushing into the wall so that you've got really nice support there. And then lower the hands, just use them on the legs, straighten the legs, walk the hands back in, maybe put the hands on the wall to bring the legs back in. Okay, good. Where are we? All right, last little one at the wall then. So turn whichever way you can still see me. Feet a little wider than the hips. Again, the right hand onto the wall with a little bend in the elbow. And we're just going to come into a side bend, that left arm up and over. And then really push the wall away with your right hand as you reach towards it with your left. And you may find a little bit more support and space through the body here. A little softness in the knees and really breathe. And if you wanted to, you could come out and in a couple of times. Just take your time moving in and out. Nice deep breaths. Listen to your body. Good, well done. Let's come over to the other side. So when you're ready to turning around, facing the other way. Nice bend in the knees. Inhale up and over. Push the wall away as you side bend over. And rising back when you're ready. And just do a couple. Sorry, I don't like not facing you. I feel a bit weird. You're just side bending and then coming back. Just really take your time. Listen to your body. If it feels good to just stay and hold it, you can. You don't have to come out. Well done. And then slowly bring the arm back down. Lovely. Okay, let's come back to the mat. So wherever you are, just moving back to the back of your mat. Feet a little bit wider than hip distance. Hands at heart center. Let those knees soften. Inhale, circle the arms overhead. Exhale, bend the knees, circle the arms behind you and interlace them. Roll the shoulders open, lift the chest. And breathe. Release the hands. Inhale, circle the arms overhead. Bending the knees, coming all the way back down. Over the legs, walk the hands forwards. See if you can bring the knees down to the mat together. And tuck the toes. On all fours, we're just going to have a little wriggle of the pelvis from side to side. Just a really gentle movement from side to side, like you're wagging your tail. You can imagine you've got this great big fluffy bushy tail and you're just swooshing it from one way to the other way. Really lovely swishy tail. Okay, slow that down, bring it back into the center, bring it back to pause. And then just to finish, we'll come into another child's pose. So knees a little wider than the hips, sit back down, bring in any props you've got. And settle down into child's pose, giving yourself some space. And we'll come back to I am kind, just for a couple of minutes. So I am kind to myself. I'm just going to add that in. I am kind to myself. You just get comfy. I am kind to myself. And I think that's one of the hardest things to be, is really kind to yourself, really understanding of yourself in the way that you would be kind and understanding of your friend or a family member going through anything challenging and new. You would just be saying, you are doing an amazing job. You have a lot going on. You've got so much change. You're coping so well. You totally deserve to rest. It's okay to be upset. All these things that you would tell someone, but you don't tell yourself. So what kind words do you need to hear right now? You are enough. Just allow yourself to offer that loving kindness. And remember that you are amazing. Your body is doing something utterly amazing. It's growing a new life. And however it happens, your body will birth that life. And you will raise that life. And that is an astounding and astonishing thing. And a challenging thing. Get in the habit of being kind to yourself. So your last act of kindness to yourself for this evening is a few minutes in Shavasana. So if you are in your third trimester, you should definitely come and lay on your left-hand side. But if you are a little bit early on in your pregnancy and you feel all right on your back, you can lay on your back. We're only going to be here for a few minutes. If you're coming onto your side, bring your pillow in between your knees and ideally in between the ankles as well, if it's long enough, and bring a pillow underneath your head so you can support yourself on your side, maybe under bump, if bump's getting a bit big. If you're on your back, you could try bringing the soles of your feet together, the soles of the feet wide onto the mat and letting the knees knock in. So that can be nice on the low back, can be a bit more supportive than having the legs out straight. And just see how you are for a few breaths, see if you could settle here. Close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in. And let it go with a big sigh. And do another one. So as you exhale, you're just releasing anything that's been following you about and hanging around that you really do not need in your life right now. Maybe thought patterns, emotions you just want to release, letting them go. And you can settle down beneath everything and just rest. Just be still with you and your baby. And take a moment to notice the muscles around the face and eyes. And see if you can soften and smooth them a little bit. Can you relax the muscles of the cheeks and jaw? Have a bit more space between the back teeth. You soften the muscles and the fascia all across your skull. Almost like every hair follicle is just kind of becoming a bit softer and a bit more relaxed and letting go a little bit of its hair. So the whole of the head and the face and the jaw feel really easy and soft. And you let that buttery feeling flow down the neck and the throat and into the tops of the shoulders. And the shoulders releasing, relaxing, and letting go of the arms a bit more. So the arms can just hang wherever they fall, resting on the ground or on your body. Can you allow that soft feeling to flow down through your chest and around your heart space? Flow down your torso, spreading into the back, into the low back, and then into your belly and into your baby. So you can imagine the uterus that the baby is in, it's just softening a little bit, just relaxing into its new shape. All the ligaments that support it, they're just softening and relaxing into their new shape a little bit more as well, becoming a little bit more easy in the body. And all the surrounding muscles as well, they could be a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more soft. And you could feel maybe your breath flowing a bit deeper and a bit easier as those muscles all relax. They widen and they open the body to make space. And then down into your pelvis, your pelvic floor, the hip sockets, all of this area. See if you can release and let go of anything here that you're holding, gripping, resisting. Imagine your breath could now flow right down into your pelvis, right down into your pelvic floor muscles. The base of your pelvis could just soften, release. into the hip joints as well. So those legs could really rest in the hip joints, into the muscles around the butt, into the glutes, and then into the thighs. Let that warm, soft, buttery feeling flow down the legs, the knees and the lower legs, into the ankles, all the way down into the feet. So the legs can really rest wherever they are now and really be heavy. You allow the body to soften into its new shape, its new form. You allow your body to widen and change, to adjust and adapt every moment of your day and night. And you notice what an amazing thing that is. So just going through those affirmations one more time, but really mean them as you say them to yourself and your body. I am present. I am strong. I am kind. I am open. I am supported. Just let that resonate. Let it settle. And then slowly let it go. Bring your awareness and attention gradually back into your room, your space, the shape your body is in. Take a moment to notice your baby. Start to bring your attention back to the surface of your skin. Take a deeper breath and begin to bring some movement back, however feels good for you. Like you're waking up, gently moving, gently becoming aware of the body. And if you are on your back, rolling over to your left side when you have a minute, when you're ready. And then we'll meet back up in a seated position, nice and slow, no rush at all. Take your time. And bring one hand to the heart space, one hand to our baby. And just pause here. Take a moment to sit and notice any after effects of that practice. Those affirmations, if any of them really rang true for you, felt needed, maybe you could make yourself a promise to return to that a couple of times in the week. And bring your palms together, bow your head. So thank you so much for your practice, being here tonight. I hope you have a really lovely week. Namaste.
I'll stop the recording.